FX Ancient, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. And let's take a look at some of the trades that were available today, and some trades that were taken and trades that were not taken. So hopefully you can again get some ideas as to whether or not you guys are taking the right trades versus the wrong trades. So the first setup was on Euro AUD. Again, we're coming off a reset now, so we're actually looking for sells, and we ended up getting a nice sell setup here during London. So you can see we have the first leg here, second leg comes up, gives us a star pattern, a double doji pattern here to trade. We didn't get a pullback until 2-3 candles later. So that was our entry. We did have divergence on the TDI as well, according from price action to TDI. So that was good. So we had that. We had the pattern itself, obviously, in the right timing, going in the correct direction, and the risk to reward ratio was there. So a 14 pip risk, essentially to get a 2.5 to 1 risk reward ratio, which is about 36 pips or so on this particular trade. So again, everything matched correctly, and it was a good, clean setup that we were able to get into. Euro CAD, we didn't have any trades pop up on Euro CAD today. We were still coming off of peak formation low, so we're still looking for buys, and we just really didn't see any good opportunities to get into buys here. Euro NZD, there was an opportunity on Euro NZD, as again we're coming off of a possible reset, so we were potentially looking for more sells. This was an opportunity here. But the risk to reward ratio really wasn't there as opposed to Euro AUD. So I went with Euro AUD instead of Euro NZD. That way I can get more a more profitable trade in. Just really a trade that I felt way more comfortable with than Euro NZD. So I went with Euro AUD instead. Euro USD did give us a nice multi-session type 1 setup. We're coming off of a peak formation high here, so we're looking for sells. And here we have type 1 multi-session first leg. Second leg is here. The second leg gives us a nice star pattern as well here. And we don't get a pullback, so we enter right after that. We get good confirmations of pinning to the 800 and the 200 EMA. Multi-session in the right directional bias. And also the TDI is already way reacting on that second leg. You can see it's already down here as compared to the first. So good confirmations on TDI using the EMAs and everything like that. So a good 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, just 22 pips on this one. We were only risking 10 pips on that trade. Another trade was Euro JPY. Euro JPY again, we're coming off of a peak formation high, so we're looking for sells. So we didn't get anything during London, and we got an opportunity during the U.S. session. So basically a New York reversal trade. Typically, the New York reversal trades, they typically go to the 50. In this case, we took it to the 200 because it was right below it, and that gave us a 2.5 to 1 risk reward ratio. The second leg gave us a railroad track, so that was our entry with the pullback on that big red candle before it started to go down, as you can see here. So we got a nice New York reversal trade, 5 candles in between first and second leg. So all of it is there. We even have some divergence here on the TDI that you can see between the first and second leg. You have divergence here, and this one you don't. So all good confirmations on a clean setup on Euro JPY. On pound NZD, we didn't really take any trades on pound NZD today because we were still in the middle of possible resetting here. So we're looking for possible more sells. We're not sure yet. So not really, not a pair that I was interested in trading at all. Pound JPY did produce an actual pattern as well, also coming off a pound peak formation high, looking for sells, right? So you almost had an identical pattern here on pound JPY as Euro JPY, but I was already on Euro JPY. I wasn't going to put another trade on pound JPY, especially you'll see why in a second because I had other trades open as well. So there's going to be a time, guys, when you get days like this where there's multiple good setups, okay? You don't want to be in, like me personally, I don't want to be in like 10 trades at once. All right, I kind of limit myself to maximum of 5 trades. And if I'm in 5 trades, I mean they have to be like really good trades. All right. So this is, this is a trade right here that that was very good, possibly a great trade setup to potentially trade. You had, in this case, you had a multi-session type 1 pattern with the first leg here, second leg right there gave you a railroad track and a pullback. So the entry would have been halfway up the candle. Obviously, your stop loss goes above, and then your target essentially could be the 50. That would give you right at 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio. Ideally, though, because the 200 is right below it, that would be the ideal range. That's more like almost a 3.5 to 1. But obviously, you wouldn't have made it to that. But this was still a very good potential trade to take. I just didn't take it because I already had too many trades open. On pound CAD, we were looking for buys because we're coming off a peak formation low down here. So didn't get any opportunities for a buy setup when I was paying attention to this pair. So really did not do it. I know some students that we have did take a type 4 pattern here as a buy going up to the top of the previous week's high up here. Let's see, pound USD. Pound USD, we're coming off a peak formation high, looking for sells. Really didn't get a good pattern for me to trade that I would consider putting my money towards to trade. Pound AUD, same thing. We were potentially getting a reset here, so we're looking more for sells than buys. And again, did not get a clear pattern for me to trade and to put on a trade for me. Pound Swiss, coming off a peak formation. This was an actual good. This right here was a good trade. I did not take this trade. I know somebody else that did take the trade. Type 1 pattern with the first leg here. Second leg is right here on this railroad track, and the entries on the pullback. You also do get divergence here as well from the price action and on the TDI. So a good trade, just not one that I took. I know somebody else that did take it though. It's a 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio, so everything was good on that particular trade. USD JPY, again, coming off a peak formation high. So I'm looking for sells and really did not get the opportunity to take any kind of sell setups on this particular trade or on this particular pair. USD CAD, I did take a trade on USD CAD, which was a buy setup as we're coming off a peak formation low, so I'm looking for buys. This was a multi-session setup trade where the first leg is here, second leg came down at the beginning of the New York session, got a railroad track, and then we got a huge pullback. I got into this trade way too little too early, because if I would have waited an extra, I don't know, maybe a minute, I could have gotten the trade all the way back down here, and that would have been like a 10 to 1 trade instead. But it was not a 10 to 1 trade. It turned out just to be about a 4 to 1 trade all the way up to the 800 EMA as my take profit. But again, good, clean, clear trade. you also have divergence as well to help confirm the trade setup. And the last trade that I was in was NZD USD, coming off of a peak formation high. We're looking for sells, and so we ended up getting a multi-session type 1 pattern. Here's the first leg. Second leg is here, has 5 more candles between the first and second leg, which is good. We get a railroad track on the second leg, that's the entry. We didn't get a pullback on the next candle, so we didn't get a better entry, but we still got a 2.5 to 1 risk to reward ratio on this particular trade, and we were out pretty quick on this one. We did also have some divergence between the TDI and price action of the multi-session M pattern there. So very good, clean, and good trade setup. So that's it, guys. We ended up taking 5 trades total again on today on a Tuesday. So far this week, I mean, it's been pretty busy this week with good quality setups that meet all of my requirements to take a trade. So I'm sharing those with you. So hopefully you guys can see the type of trades that you should be taking and that you should be waiting for. All right. So I hope that this was useful to you as far as looking at the actual setups that I'm taking. And if you have any questions, concerns, need help with peak formations or anything like that, definitely just join up with FXN Plus. We'll be more than happy to help you. We got weekly live sessions that we do every Sunday. So if you need help, that's going to be the best place to get help. Guys, thank you so much. I hope you got some value, and we'll see you on the next one.